going on, everybody? Welcome back to another video, man. Jose Fierro out here in New Braunfels, Texas. We're finally out here on this job site, Sundance Parkway. I'm going to be doing some work out here, some structural steel work. It's like a little porch, I believe, a little patio area for this college that they're building. Got a bunch of structural steel we got to put up. Let's go ahead and get today started. All right, so here are the columns that we're going to be setting up right now. I'm going to start laying out all the ground first, getting centers on all of these columns. And then we got some other columns that go back over there. There's 4 columns in this corner, 4 columns in that corner, and there's 5 columns right here. So there's only 9 columns, but then there's a fuck ton of bunch of inner tubings that go here and all that type of stuff. So we're gonna get started right now doing layout on all these column lines, on these embeds, and then over there on those as well, and getting centers marked out on all of these. And then we'll get this turned on, and then we'll get to welding. But first, a bunch of stuff we got to do beforehand, getting everything set up and getting all the layout done. The first mark is going to be 5 inches, 5 pulgadas de este pader. This wall, 5 inches across that embed, and we're going to start running down these right here, and then we'll start pulling towards the building. We got 5 inches off of that wall to the column center, and then we came 13'8". I got it marked right here just in case it gets taken off by stepping on it or whatever. So what we're going to do is measure from the edge of this embed to the center of that point right there, that little crow's foot. That way we can get a couple more marks, and we'll go ahead and get this line marked out, and then we'll keep on running to the next one. Okay, so from that center line that we just marked on the second one, 31 foot and 3/8 of an inch right here to this one, and then we're just going to be transferring them because these should theoretically off the plans be exactly the same. So even if the embeds are a little bit misplaced, which this one looks like it's a little floated to the one side further to this way than it should be, you know, like I was telling Mike right now, they could have moved when they set it, or if it's us robbing ourselves because these are further down into the dirt, then I'll go ahead and take the blame for that, because all it's going to do is open up my gap on my rectangle tubing anyway, my tube steel. So if anything, you know, some 70-18 welding or the wire fed welding, just have to fill up another gap, which is not really a big deal for us anyway. So right now we got this one marked out. He's going to transfer the mark over there, and then we will be doing the ones up against the wall right now and start getting the crosshairs coming this way. So there's the type of shit that I'm talking about. A lot of times these cement contractors don't do the best job of laying down this one. We got about, I don't know, let me measure it and get you guys the exact number. We got about an inch, almost an inch separated from the wall when it should be running concurrent with this wall. So we went ahead and pulled off 3'9" from this wall to his embed, and we're gonna pull from that center mark 3 foot to this one. Then I'll get this one marked because this embed's a little bit, you know, wonky. So we're gonna make sure we get that one done correctly first, and then we'll do this one. All right, so for this one, he's gonna be hooking to the edge of wall. 1 foot 3 inches right there will be the center for this embed, and then we'll pull off the next one. These right here, unfortunately, my plans don't show me a center mark coming off of the wall, but really these go quick bolted to the wall with 3/4 inch quick bolt, 4 inches embedment, or 3.5 inches embedment. I gotta check the plans on the embedment, but either way, they're gonna go flush up against the wall with some quick bolts. So we're not really needing a center mark running off this way, as long as we get them centered up here and make sure they got the equal distance apart for each other. From whenever we do actually hook up the steel inside of it, it'll be sufficient amount of space. These we'll start doing all of them next, running down that way, and then getting our numbers for these in here, the crosshair numbers. Now that they got this one marked, it's going to be from this center mark 4'9" to that center mark right there, and then we'll go ahead and get the long one over here. Now for this one, from that last center mark that we just did, that 4'9", it's going to be 25 foot from that center mark, or it's a 20-foot door opening, and then we can go from this edge 1 foot over. That's what I did. I marked it right there. Let's see, get my shadow out of the way. Marked it right there and pulled that level down. Got his mark right there. Now we're gonna go ahead and pull from this mark over to the next one. And this one will be the exact same way it was on that one, mirroring that side, 4'9" from center mark to center mark. So we'll get those right now, and then we're gonna turn this corner and grab these off of this wall coming this way, exactly the way we did on the other side. And then I'm gonna start doing the crosshair marks on everything, start pulling off from the building that way. Exactly like I said on the other side, 3'9". So we're just to make ourselves easier, we're pulling the 3'9" from this wall down to this one, and then we're throwing 3 foot from that center mark back to the other one. And we can double check it off that wall coming this way just to make sure we're good. Now let's go do the crosshair marks on these 5 here in the field. So off of this wall, 20'11" back to the center of this one, and then I'll get the measurement for this one right now, and we'll mark this one. Then we're gonna go mirror this exact numbers onto the next one right over there. Now from the center mark that Junior and Michael just marked right here, the crosshairs are going to pull from right center to center 5'2", and that'll be the crosshairs for this one as well. And we're going to go mirror this on that other pad over there, and then we're going to come ahead and get this 5'2" that he has, and we'll run it string line something all the way across over here so we can make sure we get this number right here, that crosshair. Okay, so from right here, off of this indentation on the wall that you see right here, a little indentation in the middle, 5 foot. Go ahead and mark it right there, 5 foot. You can see that white line. And from that mark at 5 foot, you go 20 foot 11. Go ahead and bring it to right here, 20 foot 11, that white line. Then from that one, 5 foot 2. That'll give you pretty much the center where you need to be on this one. And then that'll match up with this one. So it's the same thing, 5 foot off of that wall to that corner, and 20 foot 11 from that corner to this mark, and then 5 foot 2 from this mark to the next one. All right, it's about that time. We're gonna go ahead and move all these 10 by 10 tubes right here. Those are ones gonna be going in the field on these pads right here. I'm gonna pick them up and get them out of the way, set them right here in the middle, get this dunnage underneath them, set it there for the time being. Then I'm gonna go get all the C3s and C4s. So there's 4 C3s and 4 C4s that go wrapped around this little entrance bay right here. And I'm gonna go ahead and put those. They take 3/4 inch anchor bolts, quick bolts. I'm gonna go ahead and grab all that stuff off my trailer, go ahead and get ready with the hammer drill. And we'll start doing those first. That way we're not having anything in our way. That way we have some free space to go ahead and get the boom lift in here. Obviously, that's a pretty big snorkel lift, so we're gonna need some space. So I'm gonna move these out of the way, get the snorkel in here, and we'll start going ahead and quick bolting up all these right here. And then we'll get to these afterwards and get these hung up. So I think it's time for some B-roll. Let's do it. So first and foremost, we're going to be doing the C3s. Those are the ones that go on the side of these walls right here and tucked into here. This one's going to be a little bit harder because we have those windows right there. We gotta make sure we don't fuck up anything. But either way, we got to pull it. We pull our measurement basically from the bottom up. You need to have a 22 foot 8. So we pulled it from here, 22 foot 8 right there. Look, go ahead and show them, Mike. Let's hook it up real quick and pull it to the center of that over there. We hooked it right there. Going off our details, 22 foot 8 to the center of the column. That's how you find your bottom. And 22 foot 8. Y'all can see that. 22 foot 8. You don't need to mark it. No. That's just to show them. That's how we orientate it. So now we know that this is the bottom right here. That's how we know how it gets orientated. So this is a 10-inch tube. So we go ahead and pull 5 inches, center mark it, just like you see right there. We got 2 right here. We got 2 on the back side, so we're gonna mark those as well. Or 1 right here as well. 1 on the back side. We're gonna mark them all up and get them ready so we can go ahead and throw them up onto the wall. So Mike went ahead and got me some tacks on this side right here. I can only get so close to this building. I would have rather have had like an 8 or 10K, put some outriggers out for this type of stuff, but I'll make do with the 6K. Right now, what we have is 4 5/8 actually from this wall to the edge of this steel. So we got some tacks on here to give us a pivot point. Went ahead and moved it a little bit out, and now Junior's gonna go ahead and make sure we got the right amount. And then he'll use his hammer drill to start putting in a couple anchors up there, at least 2 anchors down here, and then we'll get some more welds down here on the bottom to make sure it's nice and neat. But let's go ahead and look at this level. It needs a little bit more. It needs a little more, but right there is okay. It's inside the lines. I need to make sure that he has that 4 5/8 from that wall, and then we'll kind of determine if we need to play with it a little bit more. So right now they got it pretty much perfect. They got it perfect. Junior's on top, getting a 3.5 to 4 inches embedment with the hammer drill. And Mike's right here, making sure he gets some good welds here in the bottom. That way it can sustain this and make sure it's not going to fall whenever we cut it loose. This is the first one that we're getting hung. We have another one that goes right here. And we got 6 more that wrap around this whole wall. That's the first column up right now. We have to talk to the engineer about how they have that crown molding up there. You see, and then they have that little space right beneath that little crown. Our top anchors are going to fall right there. So I got to check that out with the project manager, superintendent, and then talk to the engineer, see if they want us to use a longer bolt or something, because either way, what's up, Junior? So either way, it's all going to get covered up eventually, but still I want to make sure if I'm not going to be using too small of a bolt when it comes to that. But as of right now, that's pretty much how it goes, you know what I mean? We use a first little spot for a pivot point, tack it down, make sure you get the plumb out of it, make sure it's nice and plumb, and then they can go ahead and actually anchor it all down. So that's the first one. These columns are 37 foot tall, so they're not the smallest ones in the world, but we're gonna let them go ahead and finish anchoring it down. I got the next C3 that goes right next to it, and then we're gonna do 2 C4s and just repeat the process around to the back over there. So as y'all can see, Mike got me 2 welds on this side right here. I'm gonna explain to you why he did that. You can see the bubble here. This whole column that we got put up right now needs to come this way. So he gave me a pivot point right now. Now I'll go ahead and I'll use this forklift, start pulling it this way until we get this bubble straight in the middle and it's nice and plumb. Once it's nice and plumb, Junior will get up on top and he'll start hitting it with this rotary hammer. He'll start putting in those 3/4 inch quick bolts. All right, so Mike is getting a weld right there, right dead center of this column, because we went ahead and got it nice and level already. What I did is I pulled it back a little bit with the forklift, but then I also used the sleever bar right here just to put it in there and get a little bit of a pry on there. That way we can manipulate it by hand. But it's good to go now. Juju's gonna go ahead and start getting in his boom lift. He's gonna make his way over here and start hitting these quick bolts. You can see we got the second one up. That was a hell of a lot easier not being stuck in that little corner. So I'm a little bit, you know, not too excited to do this other one in the corner. Plus these damn cement guys came out here and started pouring some pads that they're gonna be laying around. I guess they just chose that spot for right now. I wish they would have chose it a little bit further that way, but it is what it is. Right now, we're gonna get these C4s. I already marked center on it over here. I'm gonna go ahead and pull one over there a little bit closer, and then I'll rig it up. And these are gonna be the ones that go on the face of the building. So they'll be going over here pretty much where that wood, where that door, where they closed it up right there, where that door opening's at. There's 2 on this side and 2 on this side. So for right now, we're doing some C4s all the way up here in the front. Then we'll wrap that corner right there, see how long it takes us. But C4s are the ones that are coming up next. All right, everybody, well, we got 3 columns up and they're cutting me short right now. It's about 2 o'clock and they pretty much told me that I can't really keep working because there's gonna be some other cementeros in front of my way and other things like that, man. This general contractor, like I said, it's our first time working for them. I don't want to talk any crap or talk down about anybody, but you know, they came and told me that they need certain things done and it needs to get done in a certain time frame, so I'm gonna have to wait, which kind of sucks for us because we're coming from out of town. I'm really trying to get this job done as fast as possible. So it is what it is. We really can't be bickering too much about it. We just gotta kind of eat it and take it like it is. So we're gonna go ahead and head out for today and get back on the road, and we'll be back again here tomorrow. So everybody, sometimes these job sites don't really go as planned, you know what I mean? Unfortunately, that's just the name of the game in this contracting thing. You know, you might make a plan and the plan gets changed halfway through the thing. So I always like to say, as of recent, you know what I mean? Well, I've always said it, but recently I've been kind of preaching it more out loud, that we're iron workers by trade, but we're problem solvers by nature, you know what I mean? So we know how to hang this steel, we know what we're doing when it comes to the steel erection, but there's always some unforeseen problems every single day that we're not taking account for. And that's not because we're not good at looking ahead, that's just things that pop up on a daily basis. So it is what it is. There's a couple things popped up today. As per the anchors, they want a certain brand as per what they expect from the contractor. That was unbeknownst to me. That was something that they had talked to the fabricator about. The fabricator didn't send out the hardware, so I was having to go purchase that myself. I purchased a certain brand that I use on every other building, that it's passed on every other engineer's specs, but these guys want a certain one. We did find some already, but they don't have the total number of quantity that we actually need, so we're gonna be getting those later on. We are expecting a bunch of rain out here in New Braunfels, so it looks like we might end up having to cut this week short. I do have some work out there in Corpus Christi that I can do, some changes at the far south, so I'm gonna see if I can do that tomorrow, head back on the road and see if I can get that done. But I'll be keeping you guys updated. The main thing is, you know, stay blessed, stay grateful, stay safe. Don't look back unless you can. Yes, it is money, like I always say. I'm Jose Fierro on TikTok, Jose Fierro on Facebook, and this is Heavy Steel and Hot Rods on YouTube. Go ahead and find it at YouTube / Ironworker Gearhead. Y'all have a blessed day, and I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.